Hey guys, Jared here. So today I'm going to be talking about some book series that are just books, I should say, not series. The book series will be a different one. I have 12 books that I think most teens or young adults should read. They're all books that have had deep impacts on my life. I've read most of them probably within the last 5 years. Actually, no, probably about last 7 years. So most of my teen life. And I have them listed in ones that I think are like more prevalent to youthful readers. But there is one other thing I should say. Like some of them are for very different reasons than the others, so this list may seem a little odd at times. But personally, I think that it's a good list. And number 12 is the classic To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. I don't care who you are, this book is a wonderful masterpiece. Yes, there are some things you could poke fun at and be bothered by, but other than that, I think every teenager should read this book. It is an absolute wonderful depiction on the ideals of racism, inequality, and just what life is like in America. Like ideas of what you could do. And like it can be translated into just about any aspect of your life. And it's a very good coming of age story. Number 11, Hatchet by Gary Paulson. This book was so influential on me. I actually got a hatchet because of it. It well, I shouldn't say I got. I asked my dad if I could have one of our old ones, and I liked it a lot. It's a very good story about survival. You'll definitely fall in love with the main character Brian, and just check it out. Number 10. This is a little bit of an old school book, and you might be wondering why I chose it, but Daniel Radcliffe is actually going to be in the new remake of this movie. It does have an older version of it, but I just read the book. I have not seen either movies. But number 10 is All Quiet on the Western Front by Eric Maria. I can never pronounce his last name, but it's like Remarque or yeah, Remarque or something. It follows a young soldier who is, trying to figure out what his point in life is. It's a wonderful book. Number 9, Burned by Eleanor Hopkins. Now, yes, Eleanor Hopkins has a lot of other books, and some of them are very good, but I don't know why. But this story about Patton, well, not the Patton, but a girl named Patton, and the ideals of religious morality versus actual morality, and I think it has a beautiful message. It's really more like like if you want a book that makes you really feel, read this book. You cannot not love this book, and yeah. To note, it does have a sequel called Smoke, but I don't think that one is nearly as powerful as the first one. But Smoke is still a good book if you want to continue the story. Um, I don't want to ruin the ending or any of the major points. I just gotta say I liked Burn, and if you ever find yourself bored and looking for a book to read, pick it up. It's really good. Number 8, Gamer Girl. Now, see, me and my best friend were real hardcore, like nerdy kids, and um, I found this little book, and I really liked it because it was such an astonishingly accurate depiction, and I think she had it's a very good story. It's by Marie Mancusi. I apologize to any authors whose names I butcher, but sometimes I just can't say them. Number 7, An Abundance of Catherines by John Green. Catherines? I don't know. I was just. It has the E. I can't really tell if it's whatever. Anyways, this book is so true, and it's just a hilarious story of coming to terms with reality. And just read this book. God, is it amazingly wonderful. I crack up every time, and I liked it a lot. You know, because I was a little bit of a snotty, arrogant douche when I was little. Like, I knew everything. I was smarter than everybody. Yeah, I had a big ego back then, and it got me into a lot of trouble. And this guy has that same problem, and you just gotta read this book. It's absolutely a wonderful, joyous read. And I won't say much other than he ends up falling in love, and there's a girl whose mother owns a tampon factory. And just, I think one of my favorite lines of the whole book is like, I knew what a tampon was, but much like a bear, I never really wanted to see one in real life. And I just couldn't stop cracking up over that. It is hilarious. It is absolutely hilarious. Now, number 6, The Outsiders by S.E. Hinton. Yes, I know this seems like a really generic one, but going over it, it is a really good book. Like, you really feel for Ponyboy. And, like, after this book, for a few years, sometimes when my friend was feeling down, he really liked this book. He loved the characters, and it does have a lot of emotional, like, draw to it. And whenever he's feeling down, I just always would go up and tell him, "Stay golden, Pony Boy," and he always cracked a smile at that. So, like, it's a wonderful book. Check it out. Number 5. This one definitely had a huge impact on me, and I'll explain in a moment. But Where the Red Fern Grows by Wilson Rawls. To point out, I had 2 dogs growing up. Well, actually, I had 3, but the first 2 I actually named after this book. Old Dan and Little Ann were my dogs, and when they died, I was upset, but they were, I guess, my pups, my dogs. I don't know how else to say that. And I truly really like this book a lot. There's a couple of other ones but I think this is one of my favorites. Number 4. This one I wanted to say I have on this laptop I'm recording it on. Like, I literally got the book and I burned it to here just so I could always have it. And that's How I Live Now by Meg Rossoff. Now, this is a really complex book, and it recently was made a movie, and I found it and I was debating on whether or not to buy it. The movie is not, it has most of that emotional feel, but it does not have like the in-depth of the book, which is usually true for it. It still has that emotional feel, but it's really fast-tracked because they try and fit a book. Well, it's a smaller book, but it's like they try to cram this whole hardcore story of emotional development, sexual maturity, wartime, starving, all of it. It's so beautifully written and thought out, and I can't do it justice. If you and like it debates a lot of different things. You can come at this book from so many angles. You have to just read it. Like, I implore you, if you want a good book where you will walk away scratching your head on what was her message? Was it this? Was that her point? Or are we truly destined or doomed? Or it's so good. Number 3. The Astonishing Adventures of Fanboying Goth Girl. Now, this book, I hadn't read it in a long time. I recently found it at the library. I was like, well, I thought this book was good when I was like a teenager. It was so cool. And then I actually really got into it again. And I'm like, wow, this is a really good book. There was a time my parents were separated when I was younger, and I was like very anti against my father, and this book was so all of those feels in one thing. Like, you have he has a stepfather. He carries around a lucky bullet. He's a genius student. He's not well liked. he has one best friend. It's such a good book that you really have you feel for this main character, and he starts to realize that he's falling in love even though she told him not to, and there's so much more, and you don't see it, and you're just like he it's just a slow build of wonderfulness. I will not spoil the ending, but it he learns to cope with the fact that life doesn't always go his way, and it's a good book. Now, number 2, Cut by Patricia McCormick. This book really helped me out when I was probably in middle school to little early high school. There was a time when I was stupid and thought, oh, woe is me. Well, that stupid young, I hate everyone phase. And I was always a little shit like that. But this book really is an eye-opening book, and you should just read it. Number 1 on books that I think are amazingly good, and I think every teen should read, is 13 Reasons Why. Now, this is not my favorite book of all time. This is not like the best book I think has ever been written. But this is an amazing book. It is truly wonderful. It's by Jay Asher, and it follows the story of this boy who gets these tapes from a girl who committed suicide. And on the tapes are a list of 13 people. And God, is it amazing. Like, you feel this narrative, and the story is mind-boggling. It's like you have this emotional toll. Like, you will cry. It will rip your heart out. It's like almost if you took the end of My Girl and multiplied it by the feels of the end of Bridge to Terabithia, and then tossed The Greatest on top of that. That's how much emotional impact that has. If you've not seen any of those movies, shame on you. But those are really deeply emotional movies, so you should check them out. But this book, when you hear Hannah, like when you hear her story and everything, and how it all led up to that, it is horrifying. The feels you get, the terrible feels you get, but the end, oh my God, the end's payoff is so wonderful. Like, I literally was in tears at the end of this book. I swear to you, it was that emotionally impacting on me. So that was my list of books I think are amazingly good. I have other series that I really like, but these ones all have emotional impact. Or, like, at least if you read these books, you will feel something. If you don't, you are a violent sociopath. You cannot not feel at these. They're such good books. Please check them out. Comment below on which one you think is the most feeling. I know some of them might not seem like it, but they do have really good emotion behind them. And I think a lot of them are very good. Like, a lot of my ethics and morality come from books and idealisms. And I think these ones all have very different conflicting views. Comment below what book you think should have been on here. And if you want to, comment why. This has been License Plate Jacket Radio. Please stay tuned in. I will be probably posting another video of book series that I think are amazing, like that are just fun to read. And some of my prospects are like, I was ready to list some of the prospects are like Percy Jackson, Artemis Fowl, the really good teen books, and except for Twilight. Fuck you, Twilight. Yeah, oh, well, there was a time when I really liked Twilight, but that was because I was trying to pick up girls, and I thought being the gothy, I'm dark and mysterious was cool. But that was a long time ago. I've learned much better now. So yeah, just check out some of these books. they're wonderful, like deep meaning, definitely good reads. I also think that you should stay tuned into my channel, License Plate Jacket Radio. This is J Road, and I'm out.